Kim Kardashian is under fire once again, but this time it's not for herself. It's for her daughter. At just 12 years old, North West is being pushed into the spotlight in a way that has shocked fans around the world. Dressed in a corset with long blue hair during a high-profile night out in Rome, North looked far older than her age, sparking outrage across social media. Viewers accused Kim of pimping out her child for attention, claiming she staged the paparazzi photos just like she's been known to do in the past. Critics say this isn't just about fashion, it's about exploiting a young girl who should be protected, not turned into a brand accessory. And in the middle of it all, one haunting phrase is spreading everywhere. Kanye was right. The night in Rome wasn't just a quiet dinner, it looked like a staged production. Paparazzi were already in place before Kim and North even stepped out of their van, cameras flashing as if the moment had been scheduled. North, only 12, wore a corset top, long blue hair, and platform boots that instantly drew attention. For many, this didn't look like a child enjoying a meal with her mother. It looked like a photo opportunity designed to make headlines. Within hours, social media was flooded with images of North, sparking outrage over her age, her outfit, and Kim's decision to put her on display. Comments called it so inappropriate and compared it to Kylie Jenner's early teenage years, when she too was styled like an adult long before maturity. What unsettled people most wasn't the outfit itself, but the feeling that it was all carefully planned. And that's where the criticism deepened. Because if this moment was planned, then it wasn't just about style, it was about strategy. Viewers argued that Kim has slowed in her own press momentum and now seems to be shifting the spotlight to her daughter. The comparison to Kylie wasn't random. Many remember how Kylie's teen years became a spectacle, with public scrutiny that shaped her image before she was even an adult. Now, people fear the same cycle is beginning with North. Surrounded by a family known for reinvention, cosmetic changes, and staged paparazzi runs, North is growing up in an environment where looking older is rewarded and privacy is nearly impossible. Critics say she isn't choosing this, she's being positioned for it. The night in Rome, then, was more than a dinner. To many, it was Kim Kardashian officially turning North into her newest brand accessory. The public reaction grew louder when Kanye West's name entered the conversation. Fans began repeating one phrase: Kanye was right. For years, he warned that Kim and her family would expose his children to Hollywood's darkest side, and now many believe those warnings are playing out. North may look confident in the spotlight, but she's still a child navigating adult criticism and expectations. Commenters worried that the same people who once obsessed over Kylie as a teen are now circling North, waiting for her to grow up under constant surveillance. Some even speculated about whether she'd eventually face pressure to undergo cosmetic changes to fit the brand, fueling outrage that her childhood is being stripped away piece by piece. And while Kim remains unapologetic, critics argue that the Rome dinner proved Kanye's fears weren't paranoia. They were a glimpse of exactly what North is facing today. After the viral photos hit the internet, the outrage was immediate and relentless. Social media threads turned into full-blown debates about parenting, childhood, and exploitation. Many people felt North was being forced into a role she didn't choose. She wasn't just a kid at dinner, she was dressed like a starlet on a red carpet. "Why does a 12-year-old have cleavage?" one person asked. Another wrote, "The apple didn't fall far from the tree." This is Kris Jenner 2.0. The criticism wasn't just aimed at Kim, it was directed at the entire Kardashian playbook, one that's been accused of turning family into product and privacy into profit. Viewers noted how Kris managed the careers of her older daughters, and now fear that Kim is doing the same with North. People recalled how Kylie, Kendall, and even Khloe were publicly mocked, dissected, and reshaped by media before they were even old enough to vote. And now, North is next. The conversation wasn't just about one outfit, it was about a pattern, a cycle, a system, one that begins with a child being photographed, styled, praised, and picked apart, until she becomes a headline, a brand, and eventually, a business. That's what terrified so many viewers. This didn't look like a childhood, it looked like a launch. But the conversation wasn't one-sided. Some defended Kim, saying North is simply creative, expressive, and confident. They pointed out that North has been performing since she was little, on TikTok, at fashion shows, and even in Kanye's music videos. She's Kanye's daughter, after all. She's bold, she's loud, she's opinionated. Supporters argued that North is just having fun and that people are overreacting because she's a girl. "If this were a boy in designer clothes," one commenter wrote, "nobody would say a word." But even those who defended North's personality admitted that the environment she's growing up in is complicated. Fame doesn't pause for childhood. When every dinner is photographed, every outfit is criticized, and every move is judged by millions of strangers, it's easy to lose a sense of normal. Some viewers said North reminded them of early Kylie, funny, outspoken, creative, but warned that Kylie's path wasn't without consequences. The internet watched her transform, physically and emotionally, in real time, and they fear the same pressures could shape North's future. Defenders of Kim argued that North is loved, supported, and protected, but critics responded that protection isn't about money, it's about boundaries, and those boundaries, they said, are disappearing. Then came the comparisons. People began digging up photos of North in Japan, pointing out how much she loves Japanese culture, how she speaks some Japanese, and how she's often styled in ways inspired by anime or Harajuku fashion. On the surface, that might seem innocent. A kid with interests, a kid with style. But critics argued that those cultural references are now being commercialized, packaged, and broadcasted to millions. Even North's genuine passions are being turned into brand content. Some viewers said they didn't blame North at all. They blamed the adults around her. "She's just a kid," one person wrote. "She's not deciding to call the paparazzi. She's not choosing to post TikToks. She's not asking to be in vogue." Others said that wealth and access are part of the problem. When you're born into fame, you don't get to grow up privately. Everything is a moment. Everything is content. And that's what makes this situation feel so heavy. Even North's Japanese-inspired outfit became a debate online. Was it a creative expression or another marketing move? As more photos from Rome surfaced, some fans admitted that certain outfits were more appropriate, but the damage was done. The narrative had already shifted, the questions had already been asked, and the phrase "Kanye was right" kept echoing across the internet. Because whether or not you believe Kim is exploiting her daughter, one thing was clear to everyone watching. North West is no longer just a child. She's a headline, she's a debate, and she's growing up in front of a world that refuses to look away. As the debate raged on, attention turned back to the bigger picture, the family North was born into. Some pointed out that Kim's choices couldn't be separated from Kanye's absence. While Kim is criticized for putting North in the spotlight, Kanye isn't blameless either. His public outbursts, controversial statements, and focus on his own projects have left people questioning how much stability either parent provides. To critics, North is trapped between two extremes: a mother accused of selling her image and a father accused of unraveling his own. Either way, these kids lose. One viral comment read, "The Kardashian empire thrives on attention, and Kanye thrives on chaos." That combination, fans argued, makes it almost impossible for North to experience a normal childhood. Some wondered whether she would eventually rebel against the system or become its most polished product yet. After all, North is already being compared to Kylie Jenner, a teen who grew into a billionaire brand. Others see her as Kanye's mini-me, inheriting his boldness and his creative fire. But whether she follows Kim's path, Kanye's path, or carves her own, one thing is certain: the world will be watching every step. And that's what makes this so unsettling. North isn't just growing up, she's growing up in public, in a family that has turned fame into survival, and in a culture eager to consume it. At the end of the day, this story isn't just about an outfit in Rome, it's about what happens when childhood collides with celebrity. North West is only 12 years old, yet she's already being photographed, criticized, and compared to adults twice her age. For Kim, these moments may feel like harmless fashion or media opportunities. For Kanye, they may confirm every fear he's ever expressed about Hollywood. But for North, they're shaping a childhood that millions of strangers will have an opinion on. Some call it exploitation, others call it empowerment, but either way, the innocence of being just a kid is gone. The world has made up its mind. North is no longer invisible, she's a headline. And the saddest part, she never had a choice in any of it.